Are we live? Are we live? Oh my god. Are we live? I think we're alive. It seems as though we might be alive and live. What's up, guys? It's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars here. So today we got a ton of fun news, as always, because for some reason over this last month or so, as Star Wars fans, we've been living the good life. We've been getting some insane, great, rumors and leaks and trailers and tons of fun stuff over these last, literally, 3-4 weeks. That has been so much that it's hard to keep up, honestly. It's a ton of news, so we have a ton to go over about the Bad Batch Season 2, about the Ahsoka show, about the Mandalorian Season 3, about Skeleton Crew, what's Thrawn been up to, what the heck is this new Beyond that we've been talking about for a couple weeks now. It is a wild time to be a Star Wars fan, honestly. Everything is going crazy right now. Just rumors and leaks out the wazoo. We got some crazy stuff, and I'm sure you guys noticed that there's something new behind me up on top of the Star Wars thing. Got this for Christmas. Anybody get anything good for Christmas? Tell me in the comments. But look at this thing. Look at this. Whoa. It's the Death Star, and it also comes with R2-D2 and the Millennium Falcon. So yeah, and I can change to whatever color I want, like red, green, blue, a lighter blue. But for now, I guess we'll keep it white. Sure. Why not? Okay. So, of course, we have a ton to get into. I made a video a little late last week about this crazy cast for Hera Syndulla and what that actually means for us as Star Wars fans. So let's start off with that. Hera Syndulla being cast and Thrawn. So these are still kind of rumorville. It's the Rumorville, and that's where we're hanging out at, is the Rumorville. So Star Wars live action Hera Syndulla actress reportedly revealed. So Hera Syndulla in Star Wars Rebels. I know people aren't the biggest fan of Star Wars Rebels. I'm going to turn this off because it's distracting me. Aren't the biggest fans of Star Wars Rebels, but you have to watch Star Wars Rebels. It is the... That's tough. That's a tough statement to make. It is the best Star Wars content that Disney has made. You could say The Mandalorian. It's up there. They're close. They're close. But they're very, very close. So, yes, go watch Rebels immediately if you haven't seen Rebels. But who is this girl right here? This is from the movie Fargo, if anybody's seen that. She's in that. So this is coming from Bespin Bolton. Great source, one of the best. And actress Mary Elizabeth Winstead has been cast to be live-action Hera Syndulla for the Ahsoka Disney Plus series. So this is kind of huge news. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is no minor actress. She's in a bunch of things, such as Fargo, which was a huge movie. She's in the Birds of Prey movie. I never really heard of her. I've seen the movie Fargo, but I didn't really recognize her at all. Birds of Prey was one of the worst movies I've ever laid my eyes on. But that's just because DC's horrendous. But at this moment, at least, hopefully James Gunn can reboot and make it great. But for now, we have a Mary Elizabeth Winstead joining Star Wars in the Ahsoka show cast as Hera Syndulla. Now, this is actually bigger. It's bigger than her. It's bigger than Hera herself because of her son. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen my video. You know what I'm talking about when I say her son, because her son is Jacen Syndulla. Remember, her and Kanan had a little bit of an off-screen thing going on, and she had a baby. And this baby was Jacen Syndulla. Now, Jacen Syndulla looks a lot like a human, but has, green hair. I don't know how it works. Twi'lek has a kid with a human, and it looks like a human with green hair. Sure, whatever. But he is rumored, or kind of confirmed-ish by Dave Filoni, that he has Force-sensitive abilities. So we're talking about a young Jedi Master in the making. And who might he learn from but his great uncle Ezra? And Uncle Ezra is lost in the unknown regions or the new beyond, as it is rumored to be. So we'll get into that in a second, but we have to talk about Jacen Syndulla and what his possibility is for the future. So there is a character named Jacen in Legends. And now a lot of fans actually love this character. And of course it's spelt the same, Jacen. Weird way of spelling Jason, but that's how it's spelt. because it's the same character, or not really the same character. It's a playoff of that character from Legends. Dave Filoni loves to use Legends. He says it's like open real estate. He can pick and choose whatever he wants from Legends to bring into live action. But he brought in Jason Syndulla. Now, Jason Syndulla is a lot of people's favorite character, or he's actually not a Syndulla in the Legends, but people love him. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see him either train with Luke or train with Ahsoka, or who knows, because it already has the connection to Ahsoka. Hera was friends-ish, fought alongside with Ahsoka. So she already knows some Force users, as in Ahsoka Tano. And Ahsoka Tano knows Luke Skywalker. There's a bunch of people that Jason could learn from. Probably the last person that they want him to learn from is Ezra, because Ezra has a very dark side pull to him. Ezra Bridger is one of the coolest characters in Star Wars, hands down. Nobody can tell me I'm wrong, because I'm always right. And Ezra Bridger is absolutely one of the best characters in Star Wars. It's a lot like Ahsoka Tano. Before Ahsoka was brought into live action, a lot of people agreed that she was one of the best characters ever. Even after the Clone Wars Season 7, or especially after the Clone Wars Season 7, people were like, holy crap, this character is goated. But then she comes into live action, and now she's even better. So Ezra Bridger, only being the 4 seasons of Star Wars Rebels and not being in live action yet, is coming to live action, and he's already one of the best, in my opinion, which is fact. We've gone over that before. He is already one of the best characters in Star Wars. So bringing him into live action is going to be a lot of fun. So I can't wait for Ezra. But we have to talk about, before we even get to this, because Ahsoka's the last thing to come out next year. Or not the last, but it's after The Mandalorian Season 3 and it's after The Bad Batch Season 2. So first of all, The Bad Batch Season 2 starts in 8 days. I don't think many people actually let that sink in for a second. The Bad Batch Season 2 starts in 8 days. Next Wednesday is The Bad Batch Season 2. So yes, it's going to be a craziness, from January 4th all the way until the end of March / end of April / the end of the year, because Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano, Vision Season 2, Skeleton Crew, all that stuff. But it starts with The Bad Batch Season 2. And we got this straight from Star Wars themselves, confirmed the titles for each episode and when they come out. So let's look at that. So this is on the tweeters. This is on the Star Wars' tweeters. So this is Star Wars' Twitter. They've changed their name to say The Bad Batch returns on January 4th on Disney+. So if you scroll down here, it was on December 21st, so late last week. Their new mission begins in 2 weeks. Who's ready to join the Bad Batch? So let's take a look at this. This is pretty wild. So on January 4th, we get 2 episodes. And then we'll get 1 episode for the next 6 weeks until February 8th, where we get 2 episodes. And then it goes again for another 6 weeks. And then on March 29th, we get 2 episode finale. So there's 3 times where we're getting 2 episodes on one day. And not even to mention the fact that on March 1st, which is right here, towards the end of the season, around episode 11, is when The Mandalorian begins. So there'll be a Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, Chapter 1, on the same day that Episode 11 of The Bad Batch comes out. Now this is pretty wild, because honestly, I don't see why they wouldn't just put it to a different day. One comes out on Friday, one comes out on Wednesday. They'd get more viewers. But I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. And maybe we will do a watch party for both, in which we watch first. I don't really know. But for now, we have the titles. So maybe it'll change. Maybe The Mandalorian will get pushed back 2 days. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We're still a little ways out from that. But January 4th, we get the opener, the premiere of Season 2 of The Bad Batch. And it starts with something called Spoils of War and Ruins of War. So spoils seems to be the riches or the wealth or whatever of war. And then right after is the ruins of war, which is, of course, the bad things about war. So the war seems to be over. It's the start of a new war, the Rebels versus the Empire, but the Rebels haven't really been established yet. So it's the end of the Clone Wars. But that means what happens with the clones? That's going to be, I think, one of the main storylines of the Bad Batch Season 2 is what's going to happen with the clones. Who's like, what's going on with the clones? That's pretty much it. So on January 11th, which is episode 3, we're getting the solitary clone. So this could mean either Captain Rex or maybe even Commander Cody, which would be pretty wild because we know Commander Cody's coming in this second season. We just don't know what he's doing, if he's going to turn back to the good side and maybe get rid of his inhibitor chip. We don't know what's going on with that, but that's either referring to Rex or maybe Commander Cody. And who knows, maybe even Boba Fett. Anybody think we'll actually see Boba and Omega actually have on-screen time together? Because they are brother and sister, and they are the only two clones that weren't altered to have accelerated growth, to have whatever. They were the only two clones to have that. So do you think that Omega and Boba Fett will ever actually meet? I don't know. I don't know. But episode 4 is called Faster. Nothing. Literally nothing there. Episode 5 is Entombed, which is going to be pretty cool because a tomb is where somebody dies, but it could be also being trapped. We don't really know what that's all about. Maybe it has to do with the Gungi being in the trailer, or maybe that's the Gungi episodes. Who knows? Episode 6 is where it gets interesting. Tribe. It's called Tribe. Now you could think of like a tribe as like people in the woods, whatever. Maybe you could think of the clones as like a tribe, sort of tribe. I think this does have to do with Kashyyyk and the Wookiees, because Kashyyyk, of course, is the home of the Wookiees. We see them in the trailer, and we see the Trandoshians like burning down their forests and holding them captive. So we don't know what's going on with the Wookiees at the time, or what's going on Kashyyyk at this time at all in Star Wars. But maybe the Tribe episode will have to do something. Well, we'll have to do with that kind of thing, with Kashyyyk, with the Wookiee tribe, and with whatever's going on there. And again, a connection to Gungi, because Gungi is a Wookiee Jedi. So a lot of fun could be happening in episode 6. And of course, every time they put a back-to-back episode, you expect great things. And of course, episode 7 is named The Clone Conspiracy, and episode 8 is called Truth and Consequences. So that just alone gets you extremely hyped for February 8th with 2 episodes of The Bad Batch, and them just having those names. The Clone Conspiracy. So a lot of people forget that The Bad Batch Season 1 ended on Mount Tantus. Now, Mount Tantus, again, Dave Filoni loves to pull from Legends, is from Legends. And Mount Tantus is where Thrawn gets his Sabaoth. It's a lot of cloning stuff going on. Palpatine does a lot of cloning on Mount Tantus. So it's a lot of things from Legends. So Season 1 ended with Mount Tantus. It ended with Mount Tantus. We saw them go to Mount Tantus. It was Crosshair and it was whoever. So maybe, just maybe, and we'll get to it in episode 15, but maybe episode 7 is where they find out about Mount Tantus. Maybe they have to go to a mission to Mount Tantus and figure out what's going on there. Who really knows? Who really knows? But episode 9 is called The Crossing. We don't really know much from that. Doesn't really give us much at all. What are they crossing? Who knows? Who knows? Episode 10 is Retrieval. Now, this again could be the Gungi episode where they're going to save him because maybe he's captured. But there are some rumors about another Jedi being in this show. Not Gungi, another Jedi. We don't really know who this Jedi could be, but it could be any Jedi from Order 66. And I actually myself said that it could be Cal Kestis last week. And the more and more I thought about that, the more and more I actually think it could be possible, because we don't really know what happens to Cal Kestis right after Order 66. We know he escapes the clones because of his master sacrificing himself, and we know where he ends up about 5 years later. 10 years. When's Jedi Fallen Order take place? 5 years after? Whatever. So yeah, we don't really know what happens between those time periods. So maybe he gets saved by the Bad Batch, or maybe it's some other Jedi or Padawan who survived Order 66, and this retrieval could be retrieving a Jedi. So episode 11, Metamorphosis. Now this is mind-boggling to me. I've read this list a million times, and Metamorphosis is the one that sticks out to me the most. It's like, what, why, what? Metamorphosis is like something that happens to a butterfly or something. Like, what are we talking about here? This is the Bad Batch Season 2. Metamorphosis? Okay. I don't know. You guys got any theories about Metamorphosis episode and the Bad Batch season 2? Because, hell if I know. So episode 12, The Outpost, again could be talking about Mount Tantus, or could be talking about another outpost, an Imperial outpost that they're breaking into, or who really knows about the outpost, but it's going to probably be another mission for the Bad Batch. What you have to remember is in the trailer for the Bad Batch season 2, we saw it with our own 2 eyes. We saw Count Dooku's lair. Now this was not nearly talked about enough. It was like mind-boggling stuff, like how did this not get talked about at all? His throne room in the Bad Batch. So I don't know how this wasn't talked about like at all, because it was in the Bad Batch trailer. This room right here was in the Bad Batch trailer, and nobody talked about it. I just don't understand how this happened. This is General Grievous right here kneeling before Count Dooku with a bunch of droids around. So this is obviously from the Clone Wars, but it was in the Bad Batch season 2 trailer. This throne room right here, and you can't deny it. You see the throne, you see the glass window. It was this room. And why nobody's talking about it, I don't know. Like, they're in we know Count Dooku's dead at this point. We know Grievous is dead at this point. But why would the Bad Batch be there? It makes no sense to me. I don't understand it. Why are they there? But at some point through these 16 episodes, they will be in Count Dooku's throne room. I don't know when. I don't know why. I don't know who, what, when, why. But they'll be in Count Dooku's throne room. It's wild. I have no explanation for it at all. None. Not at all. But we'll continue. So episode 13 is called Pabu. Now we know a character named Babu, Babu Frick from The Rise of Skywalker. But Pabu is different than Babu. So we don't really know what Pabu is talking about. We just don't know. It's a made-up word, and we don't know. I don't know. Episode 14 is called Tipping Point. So that's going to be clearly a huge episode where somebody goes over the tipping point. Maybe it's Crosshair. Maybe it's Commander Cody. Maybe it's Omega. Who knows? Who knows who's going over the tipping point? But somebody is going over that tipping point. And then episode 15 and 16 end on a bang. And it's the summit, which is definitely talking about Mount Tantus. Hands down, talking about Mount Tantus in Plan 99. So I think it was Star Wars Politics. Shout out to Star Wars Politics. Brought this up in the stream last week. What if Plan 99 was a plan to reverse Order 66? And what if, like, Plan 99, if Palpatine comes out and says Plan 99, it kills all of the clones. So it's just a kill switch. So Order 66 kills all the Jedis. It turns on all the Jedis. Plan 99 or Order 99 said by Palpatine would kill all the clones, because there's millions of clones with inhibitor chips in their heads, and they kind of just disappear. By the time of Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and by the time of even Jedi Fallen Order, you're fighting stormtroopers. You're not fighting clone troopers. There's no more clone troopers. So the millions of clone troopers that existed have to go somewhere. So what if they all just died at the same time in episode 16 of the Bad Batch? That would be some wild stuff. And I mean some absolutely wild stuff. Absolutely wild. So the Bad Batch season 2 is going to be exciting. It's going to be very exciting. Don't get me wrong, I'm very excited for it. And it's in 8 days. 8 days. 8 days. So I'm still going back and forth on whether or not we're going to do watch parties on that. We're definitely doing watch parties on the Mandalorian season 3, hands down, and Ahsoka. Yes, 100%. But do you guys want to do watch parties for the Bad Batch season 2? Are you guys gonna be up at 3 a.m. with me watching the Bad Batch season 2? Because that's what time it is when it comes out where I am. But it's just up to you guys, I guess. Because like I'll do it. I'll definitely do it. I'm excited for the Bad Batch, but I'm not as excited as I am for like the Mandalorian season 3 or the Ahsoka show. You know, it's just like the Mandalorian, Ahsoka show, Bad Batch. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's just the Bad Batch season 1 didn't impress me as much as I thought it would. That's the thing. It's not the Clone Wars level yet. And I think season 2 will be at that level. I just don't know if we should do watch parties for it. You know? All right. So this news was wild. So we'll get to what the thumbnail says about Thrawn's Sith army. I know you guys want to see that, but we'll get to it. Thrawn has the new Beyond is going to be wild. It's going to be so cool, and it's going to just like bring a great new refreshing air to Star Wars. It's just going to be a lot of fun. This new Beyond is going to add so much to Star Wars. But before we get to that, there is a new Jedi rumored to be in the Ahsoka show. Now this is pretty dang cool, because the Ahsoka show, we've talked about the World Between Worlds, we talked about the new Beyond, where Thrawn and Ezra are. But the World Between Worlds, a lot of people think that's going to be the whole show. It's just going to be a what if of every episode is Ahsoka trying to do something else, like fight Anakin on Mustafar, or kill Thrawn to help save Ezra. But no, that's only going to be a few episodes, if even more than one. That could just be one episode. As Ahsoka going through the World Between Worlds, doing all those things, figuring out all that stuff, that could just be one episode. But there's a lot more going on in the Ahsoka show. Like, of course, the new Beyond, Thrawn, Ezra, Sabine. Even cooler things like this. The Ahsoka show rumored one Jedi Master to appear in the show. So at first we have to read this. So this is coming from Making Star Wars. Again, fantastic source. So it's an exclusive from Making Star Wars. Ivana, not even going to try on her last name, sorry Ivana, is Shin in Star Wars Ahsoka. So who is Shin? Great question. So, if you've been following the recent stories I have dropped on Thrawn, who's going to be played by Lars Mikkelsen. Yes, it's not confirmed, but it's very heavily rumored and most likely to be true. Lars is who voiced Thrawn in the Star Wars Rebels animated show. You have to read a ton of... okay, so let's get to this. Where is it? Okay, there we go. So, I've recently broke a story about Baylan. So, Baylan, who's going to be played by Ray Stevenson. Now, these are all just rumors, but who is Baylan? Okay, so Baylan is going to be explained to be a Jedi. And not just any Jedi, a Jedi who survived Order 66. So, we talked about how yesterday Bespin Bulletin dropped confirmation that Mary Elizabeth Winstead will be playing Hera Syndulla. We just talked about that. I believe that's correct. But that means that Ivana, who people thought was going to be playing Hera Syndulla, is not, and will be playing this character named Shin. So, Ivana is Shin. Our sources have confirmed to me that Ivana is playing a new character named Shin. Shin is going to be the apprenticed. What just happened? Whoa. I think we just exploded. Hang on. It's going to be the apprentice of Baylan. So the Force user who has embraced the dark side. So Baylan was a surviving Jedi of Order 66. Goes out to the Outer Rim or the unknown regions or even the New Beyond and gets persuaded by the dark side, by the Night Sisters, by the darker side of the Force because of what happened during Order 66, and has an apprentice named Shin. So, who are they? Who the heck are these people? Sources have implied a story of which a survivor of Order 66 named Baylan, which is most likely, fled to the unknown regions of the galaxy for safety. Sources think Baylan wanted to maintain the Jedi way, but was corrupted over time. Maybe from the influence of life with the Night Sisters. Shin herself might be a former Night Sister. So Shin, who's this character we're talking about, played by Ivana, is going to be a Night Sister. Again, very cool. Sometime around Return of the Jedi, so around the end of the complete saga, around the end of the original trilogy, before the series takes place, Baylan takes Shin on as an apprentice. Somehow, Baylan and Thrawn become allies, and Shin is tasked to hunt and kill Ahsoka Tano. So let's read this sentence again. Somehow, Baylan and Thrawn become allies. So first of all, Thrawn has become allies with a Force user, a very strong Force user who was at Order 66 as a Jedi, becomes a dark side user, and now is allies with Thrawn. And his apprentice, Shin, is tasked to hunt and kill Ahsoka Tano. Now that's wild. That alone right there is insane. Thrawn is still mad at Ahsoka from all the stuff from Rebels that he's sending out an assassin, Force-using Night Sister to kill Ahsoka Tano. And maybe this is how Ahsoka gets dragged into the New Beyond, by following Shin there. Maybe. Who knows? Of course, Ahsoka actually grew up fighting off a character like Ventress. So Ventress was a Night Sister. So it is doubtful Shin will challenge Ahsoka too much, and this will bring Baylan out into a larger conflict with Tano herself. So they're first going to send the apprentice. Shin is the apprentice going to send to Ahsoka. Maybe Ahsoka kills her, maybe not. But then Baylan, the Jedi himself, is going to have to come out. And now the Jedi at Order 66, at the Jedi Temple, most likely Ahsoka Tano knows him from Order 66, because of course Ahsoka was a Jedi Master. So, like, what does this mean? So Derpy 501st says, so it's going to be better than The Mandalorian, huh? Okay. So there's a lot of speculation going on about the Ahsoka show and The Mandalorian, which is going to be better. Now, yes, I've said it once, I've said it a million times. The Ahsoka show is definitely going to be better. It's definitely more anticipated for me. It's definitely way higher up on that what do I want to watch next ladder. But The Mandalorian Season 3 comes out first, and I think they do that for a reason, because they know the Ahsoka show is going to be better. They know that all this stuff with Baylan and Shin and the New Beyond and Thrawn and Ezra is going to make the Ahsoka show way more interesting than The Mandalorian ever could be. Now, The Mandalorian Season 1, you have to remember, was just introducing the character of Din Djarin and introducing Grogu and what's going on in the galaxy during the New Republic. But now, Season 2 introduced Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan, Luke Skywalker, and Season 2 took a huge leap. Now, Season 3 has to make even another bigger leap. And how it's going to do that, I don't really know yet, and I really think that it's just going to be a fight for the throne on Mandalore, which could include Boba Fett, because maybe Boba wants the throne, we don't know yet. But it's going to most likely take place on Mandalore, a destroyed Mandalore. It's going to make a lot of Mandalorian fans, like people who are fans of Mandalore and the Mandalorians in the Clone Wars, happy. It's going to make Bo-Katan fans happy. It's going to make Din Djarin fans happy. But for the people who like lightsaber duels and who like the Force, Ahsoka's the show. Ahsoka's going to be that show. It's going to be like just miles and leaps and bounds ahead of the Mandalorian when it comes to lightsaber duels, when it comes to using the Force, when it comes to new things in Star Wars, like the New Beyond. And of course, bringing back Star Wars Rebels characters, because if you're a big Star Wars Rebels fan, you loved The Mandalorian Season 2 because of Bo-Katan, because of Ahsoka Tano, and even mentions of Thrawn and Ezra. So now, in the Ahsoka show, you're going to get all those Rebels characters on screen. Sabine, Hera, Ezra, Thrawn. You're going to find out what actually happened to them. So yes, The Mandalorian is going to be very good, and it comes out first, but I think as soon as the Ahsoka show comes out, it's just going to blast The Mandalorian out of the park, and it might not be the best thing. You have to remember, The Mandalorian's already on its 3rd season, so how many seasons is The Mandalorian going to get? 10? No, I don't think so. I think it probably will get 4 max, so it has to move on from those characters. And maybe it moves on with the character of Grogu going into a different show, maybe even like an Ahsoka show. Maybe Ahsoka gets another 3-4 seasons. Who knows? But yes, to answer to answer your comment, Derpy 501st, yes, it's going to be better than The Mandalorian. It just is. I mean, it's simple as that. All these leaks and rumors, it just is going to be better than The Mandalorian Season 3. That's just my take. It is. But what do we think about this Baylan Jedi surviving Order 66, having an apprentice named Shin, sending out that apprentice to hunt and kill Ahsoka Tano, and when she fails, Baylan has to come after Ahsoka, and of course Thrawn is going to have to come after Ahsoka. What do we think about that? What do we think about introducing a new Jedi who survived Order 66 like they did in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show with Reva? Hey, maybe Baylan survived a stab to the stomach as a youngling by Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One himself. We don't really know. But we can read more about this. So they actually do have rumors of who this character might be played by. So there's this guy right here. So, 2 Force-sensitive characters to debut in the Ahsoka show. And this guy right here, handsome fella. So this is from Making Star Wars. We just read some of it. So actress Ivana. Still not going to say your last name. I don't want to butcher it so badly that I just can't come back. So, known for her role in The Spy Who Dumped Me, never seen it, will portray a Force user in the Ahsoka show named Shin. We just covered that, yes. The report featured some details regarding Shin, including being the apprentice to a character codenamed Baylan. This is Baylan. It's Baylan. So, it is rumored to be a former Jedi Master, now aligned with Thrawn. So, alongside of Thrawn, he's got a Jedi Master now, and he's got an apprentice who's hunting down Ahsoka Tano. So Baylan, who is speculated to be played by Ray Stevenson. So I don't know who Ray Stevenson is. I don't know if you guys know who Ray Stevenson is, but it's this handsome fellow right here. So I've seen his face before. He looks very familiar. He kind of honestly looks like Russell Crowe, but he's reportedly supposed to be a Jedi who survived Order 66, escaped to the unknown regions of space, and is in hiding. However, was corrupted by the dark side after hanging out with the Night Sisters, and could play the role of a dark side user. So yes, this is what we just talked about, but it is going to most likely be played by Ray Stevenson. So I don't know who Ray Stevenson is, but you can infer that it's going to be epic. And I really hope that this introducing a new Jedi is the best way to go about it. Maybe he is a Jedi we've seen in the background of the prequels or something that people didn't really know about or didn't know the name. The code name is Baylan right now. It's not his actual name. We don't know for sure. But Derpy501st comes back in the chat saying, I'm actually anticipating this more than The Mandalorian because of the audience Mando has turned into. The viewing audience. What do you mean by that? Do you mean that the viewing audience for The Mandalorian is just a bunch of Grogu fans, Baby Yoda fans? Because I get you. The Mandalorian was really just a way to bring in kids back into Star Wars, but a way to bring in casual fans into Star Wars. With Grogu and a lot of fan servicey type things, that's how The Mandalorian really caught an audience. I'm turning the Death Star back on. Come on, what the heck? There it is. Okay. So it really drew an audience because of Grogu and because of all that stuff. So you're saying the Mandalorian audience is really annoying and family friendly, and Grogu fans, exactly, yes. So yeah, so it's too family friendly, it's too just trying to get people to watch the show. And the Ahsoka show, you think, is going to be more actual Star Wars, more Force users, more lightsaber duels, not really caring about what the fans think, more built for fans of the characters, of Ahsoka, of Thrawn, of Ezra. Am I on the right track? Derpy, am I on the right track? Because I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely 100% right. Because the Ahsoka show is going to give us a ton of fun things with the Ahsoka show. Yes, I know. And with the Ahsoka show, I mean, with these character of Ahsoka and Thrawn and Ezra and the new Beyond and introduce new things into Star Wars, and The Mandalorian is going to be a lot more of the same thing. It's going to be Din Djarin. It's going to be Grogu going on adventures. I've seen the meme a million times. It's, Grogu, we need your help. Oh, do this mission and we'll help you. Oh no, Baby Yoda did this thing. End of episode. Roll the credits. It's kind of been a repeating pattern for The Mandalorian Season 2, and maybe The Mandalorian Season 3 kicks it up to a different gear, but who knows. I do agree with you, though. The Ahsoka show is definitely going to be way better, honestly, in my opinion. It's way more anticipated for myself, but I see where you're at. So with all that being said, we have to talk about something about Thrawn. So yes, I'm sure you guys clicked on this video because of the thumbnail. I said the Thrawn is going to have a Sith army. And I'm not lying to you guys. I actually think this could be true. We talked about Baylan being a dark side user and having an apprentice of Shin going out bounty hunting for Ahsoka Tano. But Thrawn could actually have a army. Derpy501st says, don't get me wrong, Mando is awesome. But let me know when you're trying to explain Star Wars to Grogu fans. Yes, doesn't go so well. Okay, yeah, so explaining Star Wars to Grogu fans doesn't go well because people just want to see Grogu. They think, oh, he's cute. Let me just put him on the screen. He's cute. I mean, look at my shirt. He's cute. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's cute. But he's just saying that the casual fans only watch The Mandalorian to watch Grogu because he's cute. They don't know Star Wars, and having a conversation with those people is quite annoying. I don't agree. I don't disagree with you. But Thrawn having a Sith army. Derpy's out for blood right now. He said, and they think they're Star Wars fans too. Okay, so Thrawn having a Sith army. This is crazy. This is absolutely wild. So this is coming from Galactic Transmission on Instagram. Go give him a follow. He's actually brand new to the game, and he's really, really good. Like, unbelievably good. So new Thrawn rumors for the Ahsoka series. So these are just rumors. Whoops. These are just rumors. But here we go. The Ahsoka series features an important character of Baylan. We talked about him. That will have a lot of screen time in the show. The character answers to Thrawn and helps and has a helping assassin droid. Maybe talking about Shin being an apprentice, appears loyal to the ex-Grand Admiral. But this is where it gets crazy. Reports suspect his tie to Thrawn having his army resurrected by dark side shadow magic. So this is a Sith army resurrected from the dead. We're talking about a shadow magic, Sith magic resurrected army that Thrawn is going to have. What? Making Star Wars suspects Thrawn has been busy in exile, preparing to challenge the New Republic. The New Republic is very weak at this point. And Lars Mikkelsen will play Thrawn, and he looks really tall and imposing. So yes, Thrawn has not just been sitting in the unknown regions or in the new beyond, just hanging out. He's preparing. He's creating an army. He's creating a Sith magic army from undead dark side magic. This is wild. But it also begs the question, where is Ezra? Ezra disappeared with Thrawn, with the Porgles at the end of Star Wars Rebels. Where is Ezra? Like, all these rumors, leaks about the New Beyond, talking about Thrawn having connections to this Baylan character and to Shin and sending her off to go assassinate Ahsoka Tano, and Thrawn having this resurrected army of living dead dark side magic users. Like, this is some wild stuff, but where is Ezra? Like, Ezra doesn't just die. He doesn't just disappear. He's already been cast. Iman Isfahani, he's going to play him. Where is he? When him and Thrawn go into the New Beyond, does he just say, okay, see you later, Thrawn. Good luck. Bye. I don't think so. I think maybe we're getting lied to here. I think maybe they're keeping Ezra all hush-hush. We're getting all these rumors about Thrawn, about the world between worlds, because something is going on with Ezra Bridger. Something very important is going on with Ezra Bridger. Again, I said it once, I've said it a million times. Ezra's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. And I think bringing him into live action and having him explore the new beyond and magic and all this stuff in Star Wars is going to be wild. It's going to be absolutely insane. Ezra Bridger's character is extremely important to Star Wars. And I think, I don't know, but I think that they're keeping something from us with this Ezra Bridger character, because nothing has been talked about, nothing has been rumored, nothing has been leaked about Ezra. It's all been about Thrawn. It's all been about Ahsoka. It's all been about the world between worlds, because they're hiding something. Think about it. We didn't know Ahsoka was coming in The Mandalorian Season 2. We didn't know Luke Skywalker was coming in the world between, in The Mandalorian Season 2, because those are the things that they want to keep a secret. They want to be a big surprise to fans. They want people to cry when Luke Skywalker emerges on screen. These are things that they want to keep a secret, and that's why we're getting all these rumors about Thrawn and all this stuff, because people want to hear that, but nothing about Ezra. They're keeping it so tight to the chest. They want to keep Ezra a secret. We know he's coming, but they want to keep what he's doing and what he's been up to a secret. Ezra Bridger's so compelling because of his connection to the dark side. His connection to Darth Maul when he trains with Darth Maul, opens the holocrons with Darth Maul. You see a more darker side of Ezra after Kanan dies. That's why Ezra's so compelling. He also talks to to animals. He teleported with the Lothal wolves, the Loth wolves. He got into the world between worlds, the only person that we've seen do that. Ezra is such a compelling character, and the fact that we're not getting anything, no leaks, no rumors, no nothing about Ezra Bridger is kind of weird, don't you think? Very, very strange. Derby501st comes in again saying, Andor was the best Star Wars content Disney has put out. Whoa. Better than The Mandalorian. But if all these Ahsoka rumors are true, then this will be the best Star Wars content Disney has put out. But if they do it right. True. And it sounds to me like that it will be done right. Yes, so Dave Filoni's in charge, and of course we know Dave is the GOAT, right, Derby? Dave is the GOAT. So hopefully he's in charge. Well, we know he's in charge. Hopefully he does it correctly. Hopefully all these rumors are correct. We get the World Between Worlds. We get Thrawn with a living undead magic Sith army. And we get this Balin character with an apprentice who tries to come kill Ahsoka, who's a Night Sister. And we get the origins of the Night Sister. And we get this new Beyond. It would just be so cool. In Dave and John, we trust. Exactly, Derpy. In Dave and John, we trust. They are the GOATs. I mean, they made The Mandalorian. They made The Mandalorian Season 2. The Book of Boba Fett, a lot of people crap on, but you can't forget that Luke and Grogu episode exists, and even the Mandalorian episode, and even the finale wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show was not touched by Dave and John, and you saw how that went. The finale was fantastic. Still, it was great, but the beginning of that show was shaky, to say the least. And the Andor show, Tony Gilroy came out with a bang. It's a slow burn. It's a slower show, but you can't deny that episode 6, that episode 9 and 12, those are fantastic episodes of Star Wars. And like he said, some of the best Star Wars content that Disney has created with Rogue One and with The Mandalorian. So yes, if all this is true, the Ahsoka show will just blow all that out of the water. The Ahsoka show will be that much better than everything else that we've gotten from Disney Star Wars that it's going to be like, hang on, we might be onto something here. Why is Dave Filoni not in charge of every single thing that ever comes out from Star Wars? And maybe, just maybe, it all has to do with the Ahsoka show. It all comes back to the Ahsoka show with the New Beyond, the World Between Worlds, bringing back Hayden Christensen to play Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar, fighting Ahsoka Tano in the World Between Worlds, and then having the New Beyond be introduced with Thrawn in a Sith army and this Balin character, and what is going on with Ezra Bridger. It's a wild time to be a Star Wars fan, honestly. In 2023, I've said it a million times, is going to be the best year for Star Wars content. And I am sticking to that. Definitely sticking to that. What do you guys think? Is The Mandalorian Season 3, is 2023 going to be the best year for Star Wars? Like, better than even 2005 with Revenge of the Sith and the Revenge of the Sith video game and the Clone Wars? Will 2023 be the best year, if all these leaks and rumors are true, for Star Wars? You got the Bad Batch Season 2, you have the Mandalorian Season 3, you have the Ahsoka show, you have Star Wars Visions, you have Season 2, you have Skeleton Crew, and maybe even the Acolyte by the end of the year. Is that the best year of Star Wars ever? And I even forgot Jedi Survivor, a video game. It's going to be a wild year for Star Wars content. It's just going to be insane, and I can't wait to cover all of it because it's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Derby501st back in saying, hear me out. Give me Old Republic show, kind of like Andor, or like Tales of the Jedi. I'm begging you, John and Dave. So he wants John and Dave to do an Old Republic show. Now, don't get me wrong, that would be absolutely wild. Old Republic. I can't wait till we go to the Old Republic. I know they're holding off on the Old Republic to try and fill this gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens with the Mandalorian timeline, with the Ahsoka show, fixing the character of Luke Skywalker. Even if you don't think he was broken, he was definitely broken. So they need to fix that character, fix the characters that they used in the sequel trilogy, and hopefully someday soon we see the Old Republic in live action. And even the High Republic, the Acolyte is going into the High Republic. So, who knows? When do you actually think we'll see the Old Republic in live action? Shows or movies? Like, why not give us a trilogy in the Old Republic? When do you guys think that will actually happen? Do you think we'll get the Old Republic anytime soon? Like 10 years? Please. Like, just give it to us now. Why not have different timelines running at the same time? You can have an Old Republic show come out 1 month. The next month have a Mandalorian timeline show come out. The next month have a post-sequel show come out. Like, why can't we have it all? Derpy says, I would prefer it would be like a tone and pace of Andor for Old Republic show, but if it was an animated shorts like Tales of the Jedi, we need an just Old Republic movie or show content already. I agree, we just need the Old Republic content now. Why not? What are we waiting for as Star Wars fans? What are we really waiting for? I think we just have to demand some Old Republic content now. Put Dave Filoni in charge. He loves Legends. He loves working with Legends content. Put him in charge and give us some Old Republic stuff. Darth Revan, we need him. We need him. He is the savior. I'm turning the Death Star red. I've had enough of this white. We're going evil. Derpy says, I think if Acolyte fails, we will get proper Old Republic show. So you think Acolyte's going to fail? So there are some Acolyte rumors going around out there. We obviously got the set leaks last week. Pictures of a Wookiee Jedi and of High Republic Jedi and a lot of cool things about the Acolyte show. But he's saying if it will fail, we'll go to the Old Republic. I don't think that's likely. Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, I should say, likes to make money. Of course, everybody likes to make money. Let's be real. But Disney Star Wars is at a point where they want to do their own thing, work on their own projects. One of them being the High Republic. The High Republic, if anybody's read any of the High Republic, tell me in the comments, because I've read a few. I've read the whole first phase. I think they're on phase 3 now. I'm not caught up at all with phase 2. I got some of the comics. This is a phase 2 comic, High Republic. But the High Republic, it's their own baby. It's Disney Star Wars. They created the High Republic. They created all these brand new cast of characters. So what they want to do is do the books and then go into it in live action with shows and movies and hope and pray that the fans of the books and the casual fans will actually just glue to the High Republic because there's a character like Yoda in it, who they know from the prequels and the original trilogy. Yoda, of course, everybody knows Yoda. Maybe they'll just try to do that. Draw everybody into the High Republic by using characters that people already know and love. The problem I think Disney sees with the Old Republic, which is again ridiculous, is the fact that people don't know the Old Republic. They're concerned that fans won't go watch, the casual fans won't go watch something because they don't know the characters. Now, John and Dave have already proved them wrong with The Mandalorian. That's already been just completely proven wrong, but you could argue that Grogu's just there to bring fans along because he's a Yoda species and he's cute. But Disney Star Wars just seems to be too scared to do their own thing. They are playing way too much off nostalgia, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, the sequel trilogy. It's just, they're just trying to make money by having Star Wars stick around in the same spot and not really move to new and exciting things. That's why Dave Filoni's so important, like absolutely the most important thing for Star Wars, is because of the fact that he wants to do new things. Look at him in Rebels, The World Between Worlds. Look at him in the Ahsoka show, going to the new beyond. It's going to be Dave Filoni's world, and I really hope they just give him all the right to do whatever he wants, because it'll make money. It will. I can guarantee you, Disney, Lucasfilm, if you're listening to this, and I know you are, it will make money. It will. I promise. Derpy says, it looks like Willow and sequels combined while being a CW level production. Wow. Oh my goodness. Jeez. The Acolyte? CW level production. So the CW, if you don't know, is like where they did the Flash show and Arrow. And the production level, of course, was very low because they didn't get the budget to create multi-million-dollar movies and shows. So he's saying that the Acolyte show looks like a CW level production, and it looks like a combination of the sequels and Willow. So I haven't watched Willow, but I've heard it's getting pretty bad reviews, and because nobody knows what Willow is, like what, and the sequels combined. So obviously you just took the two worst things that Lucasfilm has done in the last 10 years, combined them, and gave them a CW level production. That sounds like the worst show ever. He also doesn't like the director. Yeah, Leslie. So, yeah, she's got a whole backstory. Derpy is absolutely going off in the comments right now. He says, nobody likes the High Republic. Only sequel fans do. Okay, so... okay, so the sequels, of course, are their own thing. We won't get into it because it gets too many people mad. But the High Republic is its own thing. I read the first phase, and it honestly gets better as it goes. I haven't been drawn into phase 2 at all. I haven't had the interest, They haven't drawn me in by telling me something cool is happening. I haven't heard anything cool happening in the High Republic. So yes, it's a tough thing because nobody really talks about it. It's got no buzz behind it. So the High Republic is kind of just failing miserably. But they still put a lot of money into it. They still write the books, and they still seem to have some hope for it. And I think the Acolyte show is getting a good production and a good level of money put into it so that it does have a good production. So I really hope it's not the CW level of production and it's better than Willow or the sequels, because I think the Acolyte show does have some potential with Sith and Jedi. I mean, that alone just gets people going. The Acolyte are Sith, and you could get an appearance of Darth Plagueis or even Darth Plagueis' master. And it would just be a lot of fun because it takes place 100 years before The Phantom Menace. And it's the first thing we've gotten in live action before The Phantom Menace. So I really have higher hopes than you, Derpy, for the Acolyte show. What do you guys think? Is the Acolyte show going to be bad? Is Derpy correct? Is this all just a CW level production? That is the quote of the day right there. I had high hopes for the Acolyte show, but now Derpy's kind of putting me down. Of course. So don't get me wrong. It goes the Ahsoka show way up at the top. Then it goes to the Mandalorian Season 3. And right with the Mandalorian Season 3 is the Skeleton Crew. Now, we got some leaks and rumors about the Skeleton Crew and how it is actually going to be connected to the Ahsoka show in many different ways. But it's going to have the New Beyond, of course. It's going to have the character Jude Law and the kids and getting lost in the New Beyond. And we've talked about all that stuff before. But it might actually have an appearance by this character, this Balin character. And maybe you get a younger version of the Balin character in the Skeleton Crew show, and then you get an older version of him in the Ahsoka show. And it would just seem to be like, it would just be like Skeleton Crew is kind of a prequel or a precursor introduction of the New Beyond and exploring the New Beyond, and maybe it has a connection to Thrawn and Ezra more, and maybe it actually has a more stronger connection to Ezra Bridger and what he was doing. Maybe we get an appearance from him in the Skeleton Crew show. I don't think they would create the Skeleton Crew, easy for you to say, Skeleton Crew show if they didn't have a good story there. Of course, the story goes that John Watts, while working on Spider-Man No Way Home with Jon Favreau, said, look, I got this idea for a Star Wars show, and Jon Favreau thought it was such a good idea that they had to streamline it and make it immediately. And it would be connected to the Ahsoka show, it would be connected to the Mandalorian, and it would just be a cool thing. So the Skeleton Crew was born out of John Watts, who was a brilliant director, did all three of the Tom Holland Star Wars, Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, No Way Home, Far From Home, and Homecoming. So he's a brilliant writer and director, and he had the idea for the Skeleton Crew. So that really gets me excited. It wasn't something that Disney just made to make money. This was a brilliant director coming up with a brilliant idea for a Star Wars show and going to Jon Favreau, and he also thinking that it was a brilliant idea, and him and Dave gave the stamp of approval, and they're going ahead and making the Skeleton Crew show. So I really hope that the Skeleton Crew show is going to be very, very good and be connected to the Mandalorian timeline, the New Beyond, the Ahsoka show, and it's all just coming together. We need all these characters from Bo-Katan, Ahsoka Tano, Din Djarin, Boba Fett, Grogu, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia, all these characters that exist at the same time to be more connected. They have some connections here and there, but not nearly enough. They need to be on the screen at the same time. They need to be fighting bad guys at the same time. Thrawn and his undead Sith army. That's what we need to see. We need to see Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, Din Djarin, Boba Fett, Grogu, Cal Kestis, why not? Throw everybody in there versus Thrawn and his Sith undead army. Let's see it. Why the heck not? And I think the skeleton crew is a big piece to that puzzle. Just saying. Are you excited for the skeleton crew? Anybody? Is anybody excited for the skeleton crew? Because I feel like it's just running under the radar. Another thing. And it's hopefully getting more of a budget than the CW, you know? So Derpy says, yes, the costumes just look CW-like. Oh, so you're talking about the leaked images. So let me pull those up real quick. So the leaked images from the Acolyte I thought were very cool. I didn't see the low budget thing or anything. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? So we got these leaked images. Where the heck are they? Here we go. So we got these leaked images. There we go. And they're CW-esque, I guess. So we got these leaked images. Uh-oh. Let's go back to this. So this is Daphne Keen's character. She looks like a bounty hunter here. We got some Jedi. This is these are High Republic robes, the gold and white. So yeah, this is Li Jiang-Cha's character, the guy from Squid Games, and this is you see a Padawan braid right there. This is D. Charlie Chapman's character, another High Republic Jedi. Then you got a Wookiee. I don't see the low budget in this derpy. I don't see it. A Wookiee Jedi, which is epic from the High Republic. Then you got a Zabrak over here, which again, low budget. Where? But it's cool. I think the Acolyte show is gonna be really good, derpy. I think he's gonna be good. So I disagree. I think it's gonna have a high budget. I think it's gonna be fantastic, and I think Derpy is wrong. I said it, and I'll say it again. I think Derpy is wrong. He says fair, but I'm sure the writing will be like Willow. Okay, Derpy, have you seen Willow? Because I haven't, so I can't tell you if the writing will be like Willow or not. But is the writing bad in Willow? Like, what are we talking about here? Has anybody else seen Willow? Anybody seen Willow? Is it bad? I've heard it's bad. I've heard it's real bad. But that's not good, because we want it to be good. We don't want Lucasfilm to fail. We want Kathleen Kennedy gone and Lucasfilm to succeed, you know? I don't know. I guess that's just my opinion. It's just my personal opinion. It's my personal opinion. So are we excited for the Skeleton Crew show? Anybody excited for the Skeleton Crew show? I feel like it's just something that's just floating under the radar. And I really hope the closer and closer we get to it, the more and more people get excited for it. And I actually think the Ahsoka show will help for that hype for the Skeleton Crew show, because they're going to say, look, the Ahsoka show was this epic and this cool, but the Skeleton Crew is also connected to that through the new Beyond. And this cool new place that we found in Star Wars, yeah, there's going to be a whole new show that takes place in that new place. And that's how they're going to draw people to the Skeleton Crew show. So maybe the Skeleton Crew show doesn't have the hype behind it just yet, but it will after the Ahsoka show comes out, if that makes any sense. So I think the Skeleton Crew show will just get better as time goes on. Derpy says no, but the things that have been said basically is the sequel level writing. So Willow, I don't care about. Honestly, couldn't care less. I know the ratings are very far down. I know the viewing is very far down. So honestly, I don't doubt that the writing sucks, and it's like the sequels. So yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I just really hope that Disney learned their lesson and the Acolyte show is better. You think about Disney learning their lesson. How good has the writing been since Disney has learned their lesson from the sequel trilogy? You have The Mandalorian. You have The Book of Boba Fett. You have even the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which has its moments, and you even have the Andor show, of course, with Tony Gilroy. So I really hope that Disney has learned they haven't. Okay, Derpy doesn't think they've learned their lesson. What haven't they learned their lesson from? Think about what we've seen since the sequels. I think, of course, when Disney bought Star Wars in 2012, it went like this. Disney buys Star Wars. The sequels come out. Ooh, Force Awakens, really good. Ooh, Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker, still down here. Yep, you can't even see my hand. That's how bad it is. But then it's like The Mandalorian comes out. It's like, whoa. And then it's like, the sequels are still bad, so we'll stay here. And then it's like, the Mandalorian Season 2 is like, whoa, Luke Skywalker's back. And then it's like, the Book of Boba Fett will hang around here, and then the Obi-Wan Kenobi show will hang around here. And a lot of people like the Andor show, but it's like, whatever. And a lot of people didn't watch it, so it's whatever. So then we get the Mandalorian season 3 and the Ahsoka show, and it's like, whoa! So since the sequels have come out, when we were all the way down here, we've been on an uptrend for Star Wars fans. It's been a lot better, at least in my opinion. You have a graph. Sequels are down here when the sequels came out, and since the Mandalorian season 1, it started this uptrend. It's been an uptrend, and I really hope that we keep going up with the Ahsoka show and with the Mandalorian, and it just keeps going up. Whoa! That's the sound the graph makes, okay? Derpy says, especially with director like that, and look at the Indy 5 leaks. Indy 5 leaks? So you're talking about Kathleen Kennedy? Or are you talking about the director of the Indy 5 leaks? So the Indiana Jones 5 is going to be time travel. Not a biggest fan, but I think it's actually going to be alright. The last Indiana Jones movie sucked, but the first 3 are fantastic, so I really hope they get it right. And Kathleen Kennedy's going to be gone either way. We talked about this before. Kathleen Kennedy's definitely gone by the summer, if not by this time next year. I said it before. I will be giving a free lightsaber away. A free lightsaber away. I think it was mid-November or something of next year. If Kathleen Kennedy is still the director or the CEO of Lucasfilm, she will be. If she is not gone, I'm giving out a free lightsaber to any of the subscribers. We'll do a raffle. We'll do like a thing. Everybody can join in to win a free lightsaber because Kathleen Kennedy is still there. But I'm so certain that she won't be there that I'm putting up a free lightsaber for that. So maybe we'll just do the free lightsaber thing anyway because it sounds fun. But but if Kathleen Kennedy is still there by mid-November of next year, we'll be giving away a free lightsaber. So it'll be around Christmas time and somebody will go home with a nice free lightsaber. But I'm so certain that Kathleen Kennedy won't be there that I'm putting everything on it. I'm just putting everything on it. Just remember that it's the Force's female shirts. Yeah, so Kathleen Kennedy clearly had no idea what she was doing when she was put in charge of Lucasfilm. And it's really sad. All right, I'm not feeling the red anymore. What do we think? Blue or green? Oh, I like the blue, actually. Let's keep the blue. So I think Kathleen Kennedy has had her struggles with Star Wars, to say the least. The sequel trilogy, just directors not wanting to work with her, like just a bunch of crazy things. So she has to be gone. And we've talked about it a million times. She will be gone by this time next year. It's without a doubt she'll definitely be gone by this time next year. Do you think Kathleen Kennedy's still going to stick around? Because, like, how stupid do they have to be to keep her around? Like, just put John and Dave in charge of everything creative, and then put some suit that just knows that that's the rules in charge. Simple as that. Simple and easy, I think. I don't know. All right, so should we like do a poll or something? What are we most excited for? The Ahsoka show, Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, Mandalorian season 3. What is your most hotly anticipated show? Maybe we'll have to take Ahsoka out of it because Ahsoka is definitely by far the highest one. All right, second most anticipated show. The Ahsoka show obviously being there already, and then going down. Derpy says I should buy like 50 of the Force's female shirts and find 50 ways to put them to death and post them on social media. It'll make you famous, lol. Okay, so I definitely think that'll make me famous, but for the very wrong reasons. I definitely don't want to do that, Derpy. So, yeah, no thanks. I think you should try it. You should definitely try it. And, yeah, no, that's definitely not going to happen. Nope. We're going to stick to positive things on this channel, or try to at least. As long as Star Wars stays positive and has good content, we'll try and stay positive and have good content. But if I have to buy 50 of those and kill them in 50 different ways, it might just have to happen. But for now, we want to buy a nice lightsaber for if the, yeah. Derpy's lost it today. He's lost his marbles. So what are we most excited for? Here are your options. The Bad Batch Season 2. I know a lot of people are actually really excited for that. I've gotten DMs over the last couple of weeks about people like extremely excited for the Bad Batch Season 2. I'm excited, but I'm just I guess it hasn't kicked in yet that it's only 8 days away. Then you have The Mandalorian Season 3, you have the Acolyte show, and you have the Skeleton Crew. Those are your 4 options. Which are you most excited for? Tell me in the comments right now. Right now. Derpy, I gotta hear yours. Not Ahsoka. You can't say Ahsoka. Can't say Ahsoka. I just think that it's definitely The Mandalorian Season 3. I mean, it's been 2 years since we saw Luke Skywalker come on screen and take Grogu. And I know Grogu's back with Din, and it happened in the Book of Boba Fett, which again is still weird. That the whole ending of The Mandalorian Season 2 was, oh my god, it's so emotional. Din Djarin is losing Grogu to Luke Skywalker. But it's the right decision. And then in a different show, in the Book of Boba Fett, and not even The Mandalorian Season 3, Grogu reunites with Din. It's a little odd, but whatever. But still, The Mandalorian Season 3 is just that. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since we've seen these characters on the screen. It's really something. We need to see it. We need to see them again. And I really hope that The Mandalorian Season 3 is just good. I just hope it's a banger. I hope it's as good as Season 2, because Season 2 was fantastic. I just hope it's even better. Is it too much to ask as a Star Wars fan for better? Alright, I gotta get on out of here. We've been going for over an hour, and I got things to do. I got videos to make, people to see, places to be, Alright, I'm gonna get on out of here. It's been another fun, fantastic live stream. I think we might actually go live twice a week now, maybe on Thursdays and or Fridays, because, why not? There's a ton of Star Wars news coming out, and I love these live streams. Derpy, it was fantastic seeing you go crazy in the chat today. I hope the Ahsoka show lives up to your expectations, and I hope that the Acolyte show is not a CW level production. But smash like if you like this video, of course. Hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. In my pretty face, show up in the recommended feed of yours. And may the Force be with you. Always.